I know you and I talked about a little bit about Tobias and where that goes. I mean, what are you kind of looking for tonight as a fan?
I think offensively, I don't think when I'm watching games, and I told you this recently, Marcus, I don't think I've ever wanted the ball going so much for a player than Tobias, because like we need him to be that solid 17 and 19 guy. He needs to be that like rain or shine. He needs to be like our Middleton almost. Like, no matter how the game's going, Tobias is getting his buckets. And it just feels, looking at him, he just doesn't feel that confident in him because he's getting good looks. I mean, he front rims a lot. A lot of his shots look short. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but I mean, if he could just be 80% of what he was pre-Harden, I'd be we'd be unstoppable, I think. Because in the 5 games Harden's played, he's 11 points a game, 38% shooting, 27 from 3. That's brutal. I mean, I know his shots are way down. He's not taking as much. He's taking a little more in his last 3 games, but before that, he was taking like 8 and 9 shots a game. But I mean, I get it. You have to get your bearings with a new player, especially one who's so ball dominant and Harden. But to offset that, you'll get less looks, but your looks will be great, right? I mean, like they're going to be really, really like open shots now. You just got to make them now, right? So yeah, I mean,
I think the one thing about it is like I've told people, because I've been in this situation, so I know it from experience. It's different when a guy like James comes to your team. You can get wide open shots, but say for instance you play a whole quarter and you're the number 2 option. You say for instance you could get 30 touches in a quarter where you just feel the basketball. Well, now when you become that 3 and then sometimes 4, you can almost cut that in half. You can actually physically touch the ball half of that, or 10 times in one quarter. So that's different. So now when that ball comes, you catch the ball, is not, I got to make this shot. So the difference, it's a different game for him now. And I think he has to adjust. So you're saying even when Ben was there, in most cases, Tobias was still option number 2.
Yeah.
From an offensive standpoint.
Absolutely.
So now when you say you're no longer 2 and you're 3, but you're a distant 3.
Yeah, you're barely 3 because Tyrese is taking that 3
you're
from
much
him.
closer to 5 than you are 2.
Yeah.
and that's what makes it tough, because you got a guy like Maxey who's just young and energetic and just run and go play. So he's a go-getter. He's just going to go and go and go. But he's also a guard, so he'll touch the ball and feel the ball a little more. Whereas Tobias is more, whenever he makes a play or he gets a shot, it's usually him having to receive the ball. And that's what's different. He can't get a rebound and take it coast to coast. He can't run the court and assume he's going to get it. So I think that they can – I really think they have to make an effort to get him going. Like, it has to be an effort from the team and the staff to call plays for him, get touches. And I think you got to do it from the beginning of the game, because I think as the game goes on and you don't really involve him, then it's hard to kind of throw him in there. I think you got to establish him from every game.
I think he needs like 13 to 16 shots every game. I think he needs to get him up there.
They can do it. They can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, because James and Joel are so gifted offensively, they'll still get theirs. And they're still going to draw attention. So, but I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. When you have those guys, in order to get Tobias going, it has to be an effort for everyone to make it happen. Like, you got to, you can say you're forcing it, but in some ways you are. Like, you're forcing the team to go and play through him at least early, because I believe the better he plays, the better we are.
Absolutely.
As a coach, Eric, what would you tell Tobias? Because I mean, he does at times. He does look like he's not as confident, out there. What would you kind of tell him to kind of get that, get the juices back?
Well, I mean, you got to tell him to, to believe in his work, believe in the work that he's put in, and continue to just keep grinding it out. It'll play itself out, but at the same time, stay confident, and opportunities will come, and it's adjustment for everybody, and probably the biggest adjustment for him. But it's sacrifice you got to make, and sacrifices he's making is sacrificing his game, where now all of a sudden he has to take a step back and find a new niche and find a new way to contribute. And to his defense, it may not always be just putting the ball in the basket. You know, it may be defensively, it may be rebounding. So as long as he can contribute in other ways, it definitely helps the team. You know, it's just that, you know, if you're gonna have the limited opportunities offensively, you know, we can't necessarily expect him to keep scoring 17 if he's only getting 8 shots.
Yeah.
That's why I think that it has to be a concerted effort for the team to force it to him and make sure that he get calls and he gets plays that are for him. And for him, you know, each game, beginning of the game or when Joel's out the game, you know, you gotta scheme it. So it's like, well, the minute Joel isn't on the court, we're going through you. Or the beginning of the game, we're going through you. So that's how you have to continue to kind of force feed him to get him going, because at the end of the day, like it's just going to help him and it's going to help the team. But I do think that he still has to contribute in other ways outside of scoring.
Yeah, keep him engaged for sure. Yeah. And he has been playing better defensively. I think he's been playing pretty well. And I must say, you and I say it all the time when we're watching games, Marcus, Tobias gets fouled a lot and they don't call. They do not give him love at all in calls, man. I mean, I'm not just a biased Sixer fan because I'm not saying that about every Sixer, but Tobias especially gets mugged a lot. But you know.
I remember talking to old referees and the one thing that we used to always say was, why does you know, the better players get more calls? And one referee was like, well, because they have the ball more.
Yeah, play the odds, I guess.
Like the old saying go, the more opportunities you get, the more fouls you get.
Plus, I mean, do you think the fact that Harden and Embiid are averaging a zillion free throws a game kind of hurts the other guys get those calls? Yeah, we're getting them to Harden and Embiid 25 times a game, guys. Relax, type thing.
It's possible that, you know, that whistle kind of tightens when someone else has the ball.
Oh, that's terrible. That sucks.